Okay, this is now the 5-minute tarot for the 8th of November 2017. And today, I'll try and keep this short. And it has to do with 1 and 2, with unity and its reflection. And yesterday, when I was talking about the devil and the temperance card, partly I was speaking that way and making the points that I was making, partly because I had already had the idea about 1 and 2. And so when you know when you know this next bit I'm going to tell you, it's going to make other things more clear. Maybe not immediately, but it's all kind of a process, and we'll get to the end eventually. In a couple of weeks, I think we'll have covered the major trumps and various other things. Anyway, the thing is, 1 is unity, and unity is kind of hard to conceive of or have a picture of because it's everything, and it's hard to imagine everything. But the number 2 is okay. If unity just is, and it's a bit like if you're asleep, you don't know, and you don't know you're asleep, but when you wake, you know that you were asleep. So unity is just sort of is, and I'm not saying it's asleep, but it's not self-aware because it's everything. And if that's the important word, if it's going to become self-aware, it needs to, the only thing it can do is reflect itself. It can't, because there's nothing outside of everything, it can't imagine there's this other thing out there and it's going to make me aware of myself, or it's going to make everything aware of itself. Because if there's something out there, it's no longer part of everything. So it wasn't everything to begin with, but everything is everything. So if it's going to be self-aware, it needs, in a sense, something outside of itself, but there can't be anything outside of itself because it already is everything. So all it can do is reflect. But the thing is, and this is a point I want to make, I used the example before a while ago about the mirror. If you see the reflection in the mirror and you want to change what's in the reflection, you don't rub the mirror. You have to change the original, and then it's reflected differently in the mirror. So cause and effect. If you don't like the effect, you don't try and change it. You go back to the cause and you make some changes with the cause. So if you don't like something about yourself, or you don't like something about other people, you don't try and change them. You look to your own behavior, your own habits, your own understanding, and makes a small change there or a big change there, and that's automatically reflected in the outer world. But it's this idea of reflection. Because it's easy to think, because we have mirrors, it's easy to think that, let's say I've got this piece of paper here, right, and I want to reflect it. It's easy to think I get this other piece of paper and I put it facing it, and now I've got one reflecting the other, right? So it's as if there are two things, even though one's a reflection, but that's not what's going on with reflection. And this is the hard bit to understand. Reflect comes the re part in reflect means back, and the flect part in reflect is bending. So if that's everything, if this piece of paper is everything, and we're going to reflect it, what you do is you bend it, and that's reflection. So it's not like you've got everything and there's something outside everything that's reflected back. You've got everything and you bend it. So we are not separate. Because we're part of everything, we're not separate from it. It's easy to think that we're separate and that we're all different, but we all share belonging within everything. And the reflection of everything is I think I'm going to have to come back to this, but just the fact that it's reflect. You don't start off with everything and then you have something separate from everything that is reflected back. You have everything and then it bends back upon itself. So there isn't anything more. There isn't anything different. There isn't anything separate from everything, from the all, from Gladiator. I keep talking about Gladiator, but it's a good example, I think, that there is Gladiator, and we are, or Russell Crowe, any particular gladiator is a representative of gladiatorness. So we've got life, which is everything. And I am a reflection of life. And I'm a representative of life and an example of life. But because I'm a reflection of life, I'm not, this isn't life and this is me. This is life and that's me. Life bent back upon itself rather than me and you, any of us being separate from life. That was it for today. So tomorrow I'll do some more, I think 2 or 3 more major trumps, and we'll continue on this weird and wonderful journey of the tarot. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.